Hi guys, how are you doing? I hope you're doing great today. So today's reading is His Current Thoughts, everyone's favourite reading. So welcome back to anyone returning. Hi to anyone new. I hope you're doing great today. This is a general pick a card reading, so don't forget if some of the messages don't resonate, that's totally normal. Just take whatever does, leave what out, what doesn't. If you'd like a private reading with me, please check the description box below. And that's it really. Let's get on with today's reading and I hope you really enjoy it. Okay. Hi group one, how are you doing? I hope you're great. So let's have a look then at his current thoughts. So we've got a couple of oracle cards for clarification. So we've got the Ten of Swords, the Star, the Hanged Man, Page of Coins, clarified with, oh gosh, I'm just knocking the camera over. Clarified with take no offense and say no. This situation, his current thoughts are that he thinks there may be hope in the future. That's what it looks like to me. You know, we've got the Star card here, so it's not bad. I know some of you are like, oh, freaking out because there's the say no, there's the Ten of Swords. I don't feel like the say no is permanent. I feel like this is a temporary situation. So he's just saying no for the moment. Because we've got the Page of Coins towards the end of the main group of cards. So this is kind of like where it's going. And this is opportunity and hope and possibility. This is good news. This is an offer. This is a chance to investigate something on a tangible level. So I don't feel like he's saying no to you. His current thoughts aren't like, no, I don't want this. It's done. Something is done though. But the take no offense suggests that what is over or the difficulty is having ending a situation is actually not to do with you. Because take no offense in its broadest sense, if we think about it logically, it's like, you know, it's not about you. When someone's doing something, it's like, don't be offended because they're not, you know, it's all about them or it's about the mood they're in or it's about what they're going through. This is what I feel with you guys. The take no offense is meaning it's not about you. You don't need to worry about it. In terms of feeling like you've done something wrong or you could have done something differently and then it would have made a difference at this stage. What they're saying is take no offense. It's not about you. They're saying no for the moment, but also this has a kind of double meaning for me that I don't feel like their thoughts at the minute are to come towards you, but I also think they're saying no to something else. They're ending something or something is being ended in their life. I don't think a lot of them, it was by their choice. The Ten of Swords is a painful betrayal kind of energy. It's an ending that's painful and difficult, but it's a good situation in that the worst is over now and the new situation can come. And that's what the hope card here about is all about. The Star card, it's a card of hope, it's a card of possibility. It comes after the Tower, and in some ways this kind of, the Ten of Swords has similarities with the Tower in the minor arcana. So you know, it's this painful ending, but it removes an obstacle or it removes a situation that wasn't right for you, essentially. And so this is what's in his head at the minute. His head or her head, it doesn't have to be him. His head is like, there's this horrible ending and it's very painful. This could be current. This could have happened recently. Do you know what? It could be years old. It depends on the person, but the point is there's this ending, this painful ending, that it's still very much on their mind. It's at the forefront of their mind, hence it being the first card. But they do have hope. They see a light at the end of the tunnel. You could very well be this shining light, this star, this opportunity, this possibility that helps to bring them out of it. I do think that that's true. They're saying yes, the guide. So I feel like you are this light in their life. You are this opportunity. You are this hope on the horizon. They're not ready yet, though. You know, whether that is frustrating or not, I suspect it is frustrating, but it doesn't look like they're ready. It's the Star is kind of like having to be kind of authentic, leave the difficulty behind of the Tower energy and move forwards, and they have to be ready for that. The Hanged Man would suggest that at the moment they're kind of stuck. They're not seeing it in quite the right way. They're struggling to kind of take a different view on what's happening. They're still lamenting that it's not about you, though. That's the key point here. So if any of you are in any doubt, it's not. And if they have kind of disappeared or said no to you or got the ump or whatever recently, it's because they're still dealing with this old situation. This pause in proceedings, though, will give them a chance to reevaluate. It will give them a chance to think about what they want. I do think that they want to move towards you. We've got the Page of Coins in the future. This is a messenger of good news. So I feel like in the future, he will come towards you with some good news. I do feel like that is extremely likely. No, obviously, it's not going to be the case for every single one of you, but for the majority of you, I think this is what's going to happen. You're going to get some sort of offer, or you're going to get some sort of move towards you. But it's not going to happen right now because he's still dealing with this old situation. So I hope this makes sense. Loads of love, guys. I'll see you on the next reading or on a private reading in the meantime. See you soon, guys. I don't know what I've done to my camera. The angle is totally different to normal. I have no idea what I'm doing. Hi group 2, how are you doing? Sorry, I'm just choking here. Right, so we've got 2 oracle cards for clarification. So his current thoughts, we've got the 5 of Swords, the Moon, Temperance, 8 of Cups. Clarification is accept love and have fun. Right, I feel like this reading falls into 2 separate groups. I'm going to put this number 2 up here, and I'm going to spread these here. So we've got 2 separate readings going on: the accept love and the have fun. So there's 2 interpretations. Okay, so this is almost like a reading within a reading. So you've got to make a choice. But this is based on your own intuition. You need to listen to which one, because these are very different interpretations of the cards. Well, I feel they're going to be, but then often I say that, and then when I start reading, it ends up being the same. But anyway, hopefully, this is the issue with intuitive. I'm just going with it, and it changes as I'm speaking. Often I'm even surprised when things come out my mouth. So we'll see what happens. But let's start with the accept love. So some of you, his current thoughts are that he wants to move away from his difficult situation. He is either in a relationship or in a difficulty or in a problem. Can I just jump in and say as well, some of you don't know which one it is. And that's the problem. And I'm sorry. They've just told me that. So this person wants love. They want to open up to you towards love. Their thoughts are of love towards you. This person has got a difficult situation. It could be a family, a relationship, an old relationship, or there's something in the way that they have been reluctant to walk away from, but it's not working and they need to move away. They need to walk away. They need to leave the past behind. They can't get where they want to be from where they are. Now that could be if any of you are struggling to know between the 2 interpretations. One interpretation is basically that this person is serious about you. One interpretation is this person is just kind of having a bit of fun. That's the general distinction between the 2 interpretations. What I would say is that if you're struggling to know the difference, look at their situation that they've got currently going on and determine, are they really fed up with it or are they not? Are they really unhappy or are they just saying that? So that's one way of looking at it. Anyway, so the person who really wants to love you, they are genuine. Your intuition is telling you that they are completely genuine and that they're not hiding anything. And the reality is that they've got a difficult situation going on. It's not working. They've tried their best to make it work. That's the other thing. There's a sort of sincerity about how they've tried in this previous situation to make it work. But they've got to face their fears. They've got to face what's not working, the shadow, the moon. And they've got to let go of the illusion that they can make this work or that staying in this situation or trying to sort this situation out is going to help. And what they've got to do is they've got to move forward. They've got to bring back temperance, balance. They've got to be mature about this and see that even though they don't want to cause friction or difficulty or whatever, their thoughts are that, you know, they've got to move towards balance. They've got to move forwards, and they've got to see that in the end, everyone will be happier by this moving forward. So this is where they're at. They're at this point where they're starting to see they can't get where they want to be. This is their current thoughts. They know they've got to face this, and they've got to be mature about this and walk away. 8 of Cups. They've got to think of the highest good for everyone concerned. This may include children, to be quite honest, because it's got quite a sort of heavy feel to it and quite a sense of responsibility around it. But their current thoughts are that they want love, they want happiness, they want joy, and they need to move away from this old situation. So that's one half of group 2. The other half is that this person is having fun. You know, this person, their thoughts are that you are fun and that they have a great time with you, but it's all a little bit of an illusion, you know, with the moon. And the 5 of Swords is really here as like a sort of, you can't get, as in you, the person asking, you can't really get where you want to be from this position. This person has an addictive personality, or you are an addictive, you know, you're in a sort of either kind of lusty loop with this person, you know, a sort of dysfunctional relationship with this person that's based on kind of chemistry or sexual passion or something along those lines. Do you see what I mean? If you're not in a physical relationship, it can just be like that sort of chemistry between you, but it's kind of dysfunctional. That's the key with it. It's addictive. It's got qualities that would make sense with codependency or addiction, and it's kind of low vibe. It's something that is not really helping him to achieve his highest level of awareness in life, and probably you as well. So if this is the case, his current thoughts are, if he's kind of in this, if this describes him, what it is, it's like he can't get there from there, but he's not walking away. There's a sense of illusion going on. He could be maybe not being completely, it's not that he's lying to you. I don't think he is. It's just that he's not showing the whole situation. It's kind of addictive. It's kind of coming more from a superficial, fun, flirtatious, lusty point of view. And there's nothing wrong with that. But obviously, if you're looking for something more, this could be a challenge. But it's kind of got a sort of semi-addictive, quite an egoic feel to it. The Temperance here is a little bit unusual, I know, but it's because they wanted to split it into 2 groups to explain the 2 different groups of people. Here, what I'm interpreting the Temperance about is like a tranquil energy, i.e. a sort of balance, not moving around energy. So I take this very loosely. I do understand it's not the meaning of the card at all, but it's just interpretation based on the split. This kind of suggests within this interpretation that he's not planning on making any major changes. You know, it's a kind of, you can't win in this situation. It's as good as it's going to get. I think that's the key. It's fun, it's lusty, it's kind of dark at times, it's got some edge to it, but it's superficial, and I don't think that his thoughts are for it to go any deeper at this time. Of course, people change, things change, but at this time, I don't see that changing. I'm sorry that was such a long group. Loads of love. I hope you enjoyed it anyway, and I will speak to you on the next reading or on a private reading in the meantime. See you soon, guys. Group 3, hello, how are you doing? So we've got a couple of oracle cards for clarification. So here's current thoughts. We've got the Fountain, 4 of Wands, 9 of Coins, the Fool, talk to God and thank God. Wow, 2 God cards. Okay, the Fountain is peculiar to the Fountain Tarot deck. It comes after the World in the Major Arcana. It's kind of beingness, stillness, isness. It's kind of almost like an expanded version of the World in a way. Stillness and isness is my favorite way of feeling this card. So it's very interesting because this can represent a couple of different things. In my readings, it tends to fall into one of two categories. Either it's about inertia, nothing happening, or it's about it represents a very high level of awareness or understanding, a high vibe. So his current thoughts are very spiritual or very elevated for him or her. Now, so this person may be a very unaware person, and so this can be them having a bit of a breakthrough. So it doesn't mean that they have to be some sort of spiritual guru. It just means that from the point, I'm trying to think how to say this properly, the point from which they started, they're having a bit of an accelerated awakening or an awareness or a breakthrough, something like that. They are kind of going within, listening to their spiritual guides or their higher self or inner wisdom. They're having some sort of ascension, and so it depends on where they started at as to, where this is taking them or to what point they're going to get, because obviously we're all at different stages. But the point is, this person is kind of on their spiritual journey, even if they don't know it. If they're not very awakened at all, they might not even know they are. They're just kind of feeling like a little bit more like fate is calling them in their life. They're having some synchronicities and noticing them. They're starting to wake up a little bit and think, oh, hang on, maybe there's more to life than this. They're starting to ask questions about, what does this mean? Where am I going? What's happening? So this is where they're at. So they might not literally be talking to God or praying or what have you, if they're not a very spiritual person, but and even if they are, they might not necessarily be actually doing that. But it essentially is that the case that they are listening to higher energies, and they're being guided. Because of this, I feel like a lot of them aren't making any action towards you or aren't thinking about moving towards you because they're focused on that. What it looks like to me with this 4 of Wands and 9 of Coins in the center, I know this is very intuitive interpretation, so please, it's not the meaning of the cards. But for me, what they're saying is this is kind of like they're comfortable at the moment with this fountain. They're not going anywhere. They're not I feel almost like they're not really thinking about you or relationships or whatever at the moment. They're kind of eyes and thoughts are on higher things or on greater visions. Now, that's not to dismiss you or to say that you are not important. Quite the contrary. It could be that they are doing this because they know that they need to clear out some energies, grow up for some of them, or face some things, or sort themselves out in order to be ready for this relationship or whatever. So I feel like there's a real sense of abundance because 4 of Wands is prosperity. 9 of Coins is again a kind of prosperous energy as well. But I feel also they're not really doing anything. They're not thinking of moving towards you right now, but it is coming with the Fool at the end. It's like they're starting to tap into their wealth and abundance, but I feel like this is on a higher level. So they're starting to listen to their inner guidance, or they're starting to notice their guidance and follow it, which is fantastic and amazing. This is what we want because we've got the Fool in the future. So because they're having a bit of an awakening, they're going to have some sort of new beginning in the future. And this Fool energy is an energy of a surprise new beginning as well. And it's a leap of faith, and it's taking a new beginning, having a new start, listening to inner wisdom. I certainly think this person is going through a really strong ascension time. Now, the reason why I was a little bit like struggling to find words at the start was because I think a lot of the people, not all, but a lot of the people you're inquiring about are not actually very spiritual, or, aren't consciously very spiritual, or, they're not really like that. So this might seem like a bit of a head scratcher. But remember that when we very initially start to wake up, or when we are very, very caught in the material world to start with, we're not really even aware of spiritual awakening or anything. It's just that sense of, well, maybe I need a bit of more meaning in my life. Maybe I need to take a bit more responsibility. Maybe I need to be a bit more mature. All of these are kind of early ascension thing. So I feel like this is where this person is going. They're kind of listening to a higher energy and starting to tap into that. And interestingly as well, with the Four of Wands, it is a card of like responsibility and enjoying the fruits of your labor sort of thing. It's like prosperity that comes through the creation within the threes, the Three of Wands, and then the Four of Wands is about enjoying what you've created. The Nine of Coins is also about that. So I feel like their current thoughts are that they're not necessarily making moves at the minute, but they're going too soon. They're going through this creation process. They're starting to realize that they can listen to this higher guidance and be guided. So I hope this makes sense. Loads of love, guys. I'll see you on the next reading or a private reading. In the meantime, see you soon. Hi, group 4. How are you doing? So his current thoughts. We got the Six of Wands in reverse, Six of Swords, Three of Wands, Eight of Coins. Say yes, see the light. This person is waking up to something. They're saying yes to you. So their current thoughts about you are yes, but I don't think they've always been necessarily, or they've maybe been in a period where they've been reserved, or you've not had contact, or something's been off. But now they're saying yes. They're seeing the light over the situation. So their current thoughts are like, hang on, maybe I do feel this. Maybe I do want this, you know, and they're moving on from this old energy. You know, they want to move forwards. And the Six of Wands in reverse, though, is interesting because it's like a sense of feeling depressed or defeated, but just hang in next. But I know this may sound like I've just contradicted myself, but the point is, I feel like they've maybe said no to you, or they've mucked you around, or they've been difficult with you or something, and now they're regretting it. The Six of Wands is like, oh, you know, I've maybe messed this up. I shouldn't have done that. Or this feeling that the possibilities and hopes of success in this area are now maybe not possible. But the Six of Wands says, even though things feel rubbish, actually you can be successful. And probably you know that, because this person maybe feels like they've missed their chance, but they probably haven't, because you're here watching this video about them. So the thing is, this person is ready to come into balance, double six, and move forwards. Three of Wands is very creative energy. Eight of Coins, they want to fine tune their experience. They want to go into this phase of self-mastery. They want to go beyond their difficulties and problems. They want to move forwards. They really do. They've had enough of this old energy and they want to move on. The Six of Swords is all about that. Moving out of the dark into the light. Moving from the past into the future. This person has maybe struggled with that, but their current thoughts are, even though they feel a bit worried and a bit fed up that maybe they've missed their chance, once they know they haven't, they're going to feel like they want to move forwards. The Three of Wands, they want to create this new opportunity. They're saying yes in their head now. Their thoughts are yes to you, and they're seeing the light on this. However, what I would say is, I wouldn't encourage you to rush at the situation and be like, oh, I'll reassure them, I'll tell them this, that, and the other. Because the Three of Wands says the opportunity's coming, but it's not quite here yet. They're maybe not quite ready. They're still working on themselves. Eight of Coins, this is self-mastery. And it's very much a card of being on your own and working on your craft, working on yourself. So what I would say is, for a lot of you, unless you get a strong intuition that it's a good idea to talk to them about this or move towards them, I would say that very likely, yes, they're coming to the conclusion that you're right for them. Say yes, they're seeing the light. They really hope they've still got a chance, even though they feel a bit concerned that they haven't. But I would say they still need time to feel good about where they're at. They still need time to feel good about this situation. They're still working on that. I think if you rush in too quickly, you could freak them out or scare them off or something like that. Obviously, listen to your intuition, because this is a general reading. But I hope this makes sense. Loads of love, guys. I will see you on the next reading or in a private reading in the meantime. See you soon, guys.